This is the extended part of the Samurai Megazord and the Auxiliary Zords, because if you remember on the last video, which was the last Monday's video, I couldn't fit it all in the same video. And also, coincidentally, I think I said something like, oh, these shadows are a pain. That video is done at night, when it was dark outside. This video is being done in the daytime, so I don't need the light, coincidentally. But anyway, enough with the talk. This video is going to be about the auxiliary Zords, folding Zords. You know, these ones don't fold. And I'll be doing individual reviews of the three, and then showing the combinations of Samurai Megazord here, and then doing the combination with the Battlewing, and then showing that off. Right, so to get started, we will have to move the Samurai Megazord out of the way just for now, onto the floor, and then we will show off the Beetle Origami. I think that's what this is called. So this is the first of the separately sold origamis. What do I think of this design? It's okay. It looks a lot bigger than the Japanese version did, I think. There's a little peg here for the figures, which works a lot better than the pegs on the Samurai Megazord. Well, they're on the side of the dragon and the bear. Those don't work. These pegs work, however. Apart from the one on the tiger, but we'll get to that later. I'm not sure about paint, but I'd like to believe this is all the same as the Japanese version. The lines here. These rubber pieces should have silver on them here, I believe. But because they're rubber, I think they're more like throwaway decorations. I don't know how to take that myself in terms of design. But okay. On the side, we've got a little connector port, which is a Zord Builder port, believe it or not. So, if you wanted to, you could just connect this to the Samurai Megazord as an arm, but because of the rubber bits in the way, you can't, unless you were to do something like this, which I can't because the rubber pieces are still on. There we go. You could attach it in this kind of formation, which, okay, it looks a bit weird, but it's a drill formation, which kind of gives a Operation Overdrive vibe off. I don't know, because they had a drill sword in that series. There we go. These rubber pieces, they do fit nice and connect. They do have like a nice and snug connection, but again, they can be a pain to remove. On the bottom here, we've got one normal wheel here, and these two wheels, they move. They're connected, so they both move at the same time. They spin the beetle head around like this, which is like a drill effect going on. And there we go. Which is all nice, and that, considering it's the same kind of effect that the Japanese version had, the Kabuto Origami. And again, another comparison to the Japanese version is that this version has a handle down here, and the Japanese didn't have a handle on this sword, because the original Shinkano came with a shield that was also a hidden disc they could use as a shield. The American version omitted this completely. That version didn't have a shield, so they had to bring this in as a shield. I don't know why they chose this Zord and not the Swordfish. But maybe that was due to like a pun where the swordfish can hold a sword. I'll get to that later. But maybe this was the best candidate for a shield, but I don't know. So yeah, I think that's the beetle. We should get to the combination now. So for the Beetle Drill Samurai Megazord, I don't know what it's called officially. Let's just call it Capital Shinkano. So we've got the Samurai Megazord as a, base form. First off, we have to remove the helmet on top, and then we take the beetle, and we must remove the beetle's head. Now this is going to be very difficult. I've tried it before. It's not easy to remove. So we've got to remove the head. Sorry about this. I don't know how they expect kids to do this. There we go. Now the head has been removed. As you can see, it was connected via a Zord Builder port. And this is what it looks like without the head on it. It's just another Zord Builder port, but the thing is, this one spins. As you can see. Now, we'll get to this in a minute. We've got the beetle head. What we do here is we open the bottom parts up like this, and it's all silver on the inside. They have kept the paint inside, and they've kept the paint on top of here. This is the helmet, so let's attach it. If it will go on, hang on, there we go. Now I don't know if the top part is meant to be spun up, because I mean I know it goes up, but because it looks more nice design, I'm just going to be putting it up. And also, the original Japanese helmet wouldn't have had, then it'd be hollow on the inside. It would have had like a separate head inside, because it would have been designed so you hide the original head, you fold it back into the hole, and then put the helmet on top. Anyway, to complete the combination, you take the remaining part of the BeetleZord and plop out the aforementioned handle here, and you put it into the arm of the Megazord. And this is basically the Kabuto Shinkino American. What do I think of this combination? Well, it has got nothing on the original Japanese version. Sure, they experimented a bit with the shield, but the fact that originally the entire Zord was meant to fit on the back of the head, which if we have a quick look at the, if we rebuild the Zord here and have a quick look and have a check to see if this would have worked out. The original combination would have gone a bit like this, where the entire Zord just fits onto the back. This would have worked had they designed it properly, but they didn't, and I think they did it okay with the normal design of what they did. And also, one more thing before we continue that I forgot to point out. You know how there's normally there's hidden discs. In the Japanese version, these Zords are all meant to hold discs, because the idea is you insert a disc, and when you spin the disc, the function activates, and it looks like there's a disc in there based on how it looks textured, and yeah, it looks like there's a disc in there, but there is no disc in there. This is molded. There's no way to open it. It's another thing that it's a lookalike. It's not actually a disc. Which, if we move on to the next Zord, which is the SwordFishZord, again you can see it looks like there's a disc in there. Go onto the back, and yeah, there is no disc. It's just a molded detail, as you can see. Anyway, welcome to SwordFishZord. Again, they kept this idea up. They did it nice, very good. I'm confident it's missing some paint, but I think the molded detail's okay. There's some smoothness here. There's meant to be some molded detail here, but I'm not sure about that. Another thing here is that there was meant to be some missile shooters here and here, activated by pushing these buttons, which are just molded detail on the Zord. Why did they include that on the Japanese version? I don't know. And the original action feature for this Zord, again, there's meant to be some paint down here, but there's no paint. They do keep up the metallic silver and the metallic gold on certain parts. On the wheels. Why did they choose the wheels? They could have made this metallic silver. The main function of the Zord would have been, the swordfish goes up and down with the nose, beak, but instead they made it so the gimmick, when moving the wheels, they made it so that the fin moves. and I don't know why they changed it. You can also spin the fin so the feature's more noticeable. I don't know why they chose to change that. Anyway, someone was in the comedy department when this Zord was designed, because they changed the combination for this yet again. It's meant to go something like this on the back of the Zord, but they didn't keep it like that for some reason. They instead made it so they made use of the Zord builder port on the back side, not the back. So you split this in half, and this half stays the same, but this half does not. For you see, hang on, move the camera up a bit more. There we go. For you see, you move the ape, and you attach the swordfish. And someone was being funny because the SwordFishZord is used to literally hold the Megazord sword in a little hole. Yeah, so someone obviously remembered what it was like to watch Power Rangers of Wild Force, because this was convinced it was Power Rangers of Wild Force, and it's not. So, bit awkward there, mate. But of course the helmet stays the same. The helmet, swordfish face. You move the two spikes up on top, then you pull this nose out here, and the helmet just goes on like normal. Megazord, Swordfish Megazord, Swordfish Fencer, Megazord. And one more thing I will say about this Megazord is that the sword is actually, the Megazord sword is meant to go in here, because the nose is meant to split apart. It's meant to go in here, and they didn't keep that, which might explain why they kept this idea instead, which is a bit weird. But again, we will move on to the final auxiliary Zord after we reassemble this. The final auxiliary Zord for Samurai is, of course, the TigerZord. What do I think of this design? Well, yeah, it's alright for a Zord as it is. They don't ever advertise it in this position, which is a bit weird because it's more like an attack position. They instead advertise it standing completely upright, which is a bit weird. But again, what does this Zord do, basically? Again, I can't really comment on any bits of missing paint because I don't have the Japanese version to hand. What I can say is that, again, this is meant to hold a hidden disc, because this is meant to be like a handle you spin, and it doesn't spin because it's moulded. They instead put like a peg for the Megazord for a figure, and is that a Megazord? Is that a figure peg? Looks like it. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know if they put a figure peg on this Zord. I'm getting confused. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you can do that if you want. Now, the feature here would be that you would insert a hidden disc, move up the legs, and then move it along a table, and all four legs would spin like drills, except on this version, they removed the included hidden disc, but they still included the wheel spinning feature, as you can see. And also, as you can see, only the two front legs spin, and the back two legs are moulded different, and they don't spin. As you can see, spins like that, and yeah, they do spin quite fast. You can also do this if you want. And also, if we take off the legs here, one at the back too, you can see, oh no, the Ranger figure connectors are just here on the hind legs. Odd. You can see that the connectors are different, because the ones that spin have got like a nodule on top, and the ones that don't have a nodule, and it's the part on top that spins. So, in case you're wondering, you can't just swap in between because they're different on the inside. Because there's an internal bit that spins on this version, you can see. molded so it spins. So you can't just place the if you were to swap the legs around, it would literally do nothing. In fact, it would get stuck. As you can see, it does nothing. So don't do that. Don't take after me, the funny YouTuber. So yeah, let's get on with the combination that this guy achieves by bringing in, guess who? The Samurai Megazord again. Now this combination stays the same to the Japanese Taurus Shinkanel. So what do we do here? We remove the tiger head. There we go, off to the side. Remove the tiger tail, which is also meant to close. And it doesn't because it's molded, but small detail, whatever. So this is the crown, essentially. We take off the side. We take the tiger body here. Now, I've actually had to print off the instructions because I have forgotten how this combination goes. So give me a sec. Which way does it go? Peg at the top there, I think. So then we remove the bottom two legs. Okay, so straighten these legs out. We remove the bottom two legs and place them onto the side ports here. So it looks a bit like this. Now, yeah, it looks weird because two of the side legs, they spin, the other two they don't, which means the design looks a bit odd. So you want to have the side with the connectors for the combination of Megazord combination, all three. And what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to spin this, and they're all supposed to spin, because on the Japanese version they're all meant to have these spinning pegs, and they don't on this version, which makes it fall flat. Anyway, what next? We take the tiger head here, and then we attach the crown to the little hole on the front, like this. Then we attach it to the head like this. And now this is the most difficult bit. By spinning it around, there's no proper connection pegs or anything. What you've got to do is you've got to take this part up here. This is what you connect everything with. It's not, no. I want to say it's quite flimsy, because it is quite flimsy. You take the Zord and you attach it to the back, like this. And this is how, yeah, this is what it looks like in normal Japanese version. Looks okay, actually. I was going to say something like, oh, all the main Shinkinju combinations for Beetle, Swordfish and Tiger, they all look a bit like generic. And not generic, they all look a bit like bare bones, like they're meant to be something else. No. This is how they normally look. So, thanks for that. So what we will do now is we will move on to forming the Samurai Battlewing. Which we will do by placing the reforming the TigerZord real quick. And it also involved me having to follow some instructions because I forgot how it goes together. Right, so all three swords, all the discless Zords. Okay, first, apparently according to the instructions, what we've got to do is we've got to take the Kabuto, the beetle, sorry. We've got to take off the top. I think this is called the mandible. I don't know. I'm not an animal expert. Very nice. This part here is meant to come in as well. It doesn't. It's molded on this version. Very nice. It feels quite solid. Take that off. We're also supposed to take off both of the legs here. Now, again, I've told you before, this is very difficult. So I'm going to do it off screen. There we go. And apparently, we've got to take this one off to the side. And then we have this one and we turn it upside down. And if you have a look, there's a connector here and there's a connector here. Same on the other side. So we've got to take the upside down leg and attach it to the above connector. Like this. What next? On the swordfish, we have got to remove the back fin. Initially I thought I broke it, but no, this is how it's meant to go. Ooh, behind the snins. This is how it looks underneath. Spinning the wheel does this like a theme park ride. Then we've got to take the other beetle fin from before, turn it upside down like the previous one, and attach it to the connector. At least I think it goes upside down. I hope it goes upside down. It'd be a complete laughing stock. It doesn't. Yes, it does. The problem is it doesn't feel like it's attached correctly, but it has. Trust us, it has. We're the government. And then we take TigerZord. We remove the tiger head apparently, and the tiger tail. Now this bit's a bit difficult because I can't really see the instructions from this far off. We turn the Zord upside down like this. And we fold open the tiger head like this. So the black part's at the top. Now apparently there's a cross connector here. This is supposed to go on somewhere, which I'll have to do off camera because it's a bit tricky. Cross camera connector onto the side button. It's not giving me any hints. Plus, it doesn't seem to want to be going on properly. Apologies for this, it's not going on. Okay, well, that's a bit confusing. Apparently, it's meant to go on like the circle hole, so the cross. So it looks like this, but if you're looking, the plastic's splitting. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be leaving this away off to the side. So thanks, but no thanks, basically. So we'll skip that step. Okay, so the next thing to do is to take it in this position, take this, and attach it to the black peg, so it looks like this. And then attach the fin to this side here. So it goes on properly, and it's not going on. Give me a second. Right, so I got some more wipes, which was handy because I ran out of wipes in this room. And I also memorised the last bits of the instructions to make sure it would be easy to put together. And yeah, so I attached the fin to the back. And now I will finish off this Battlewing combination. So we take the crown, attach it to the hole here. There we go. And then the last things to do rather, would be just attach the beetle and the swordfish to the side pegs. Samurai Battlewing, or Daitenku as it's known in Japan. What do I think of this design? Oh no. No. This design is not good. I do not like this design. I don't know if it was inspired by using Japanese. As far as I know, this is just a complete cluster of robos. It was probably inspired by some kind of three-headed demon beast in Japan, considering how this has got 3 heads, the beetle, this thing, and also the swordfish. But in the context of Power Rangers Samurai, this has got no Japanese connections at all. So yeah, so as far as Samurai is concerned, this is just one cluster of a robot. I'm convinced this is inspired by a Japanese myth or legend, considering how the villains of Shinkenger or like yokai. I'm convinced that this is not a coincidence flying bird. This is based on another hybrid. Like there's a fishtail here. There's some wings. Yeah, I'm convinced this is based on some kind of Japanese mythological creature, and it's not just coincidence. It looks like a great big JPEG. Yeah, sure, you can still move it along, and the beetle head still spins, but every other gimmick just falls apart, because the idea would be it would all be connected on the Japanese version, where if you spin the back disc of the tiger, it would activate all of these special functions at once. It would all be connected and connected, and this crown keeps flying off. But yeah, there's still one more thing we can show before I finish this video, and that is not listed on the instructions. As you can see, it has the included things. It also shows off the functions, combination with Samurai Megazord, and also how to form the Battlewing, but nowhere does it say how to combine into the Samurai Battlewing Megazord. Otherwise known as Tenku Shinkano. If you're unaware, this is meant to combine with this Megazord, Samurai Megazord, and it's meant to. It's in the show. It's in Shinkenger. Don't worry about him. But nowhere does it say how to do it in the toy line, and I think I know why. Because on the back of the Megazord, this would make the Megazord really, really top heavy. And in case you haven't seen my previous video about this Megazord, there's an articulation feature where it does this all the time. But just for a laugh, let's show off what would happen if I did try to combine it. So, put the tiger head onto the Megazord. There we go. Just the tiger head, not the crown. Put up the little connector at the back. And how do we sort the camera? Just put it, angle it up a bit more. As you can see, for the Battlewing, because I tried connecting this off camera, it didn't work. These pegs here are meant to connect to the connector, but these 2 legs are in the way, meaning that technically this shouldn't be able to connect. But you can remove these 2 legs and make it connect. So let's do that now. Leg 1, leg 2. And the back fin's just fallen off, so let me just reconnect that quick. So now there's enough room for the connectors to actually connect. Then against the wall. So this is what it should look like. This is not an advertised combination. It's not a combination done in the toy line. It's not mentioned in the instructions. With this, you can achieve the combination on the show. I don't know why to leave an in-show combination out, but yeah, this is what it would look like. This is Tenku Shinkano, or Battlewing Samurai Megazord, I think it's called. But I've leaned it up against the wall for a reason. Because if you were to move it away from the wall, this would happen. Which is maybe why they don't advertise it. So it will work as a combination as long as you've got a wall nearby. So as you can see, this is just falling off. This is officially too heavy, and this is falling off too. That's falling off. So that's why they don't. That's why they don't advertise it, I guess. Which is a shame. Had they been given the proper supports for had they made the lines more secure and not falling down 24 hours a day, that they would have been able to make that work. But unfortunately, no, that was not the case. So let's move all this debris away, and that's what the next video is going to be about. The next video is going to be about the TigerZord. I was about to show it on camera, but it's too big. Let's have a try. There we go. Next video is about him. Ta-ra!